Alright, welcome everybody. Time to our third video about crypto and the Holochain. Let's jump right into it. And I have to say, whoa there, it's incredible. I am not used to this kind of response. I only started talking about crypto, about Holochain 1 week ago, and meanwhile my little amount of followers has doubled. And so welcome everyone who is new, who is interested in crypto, who is interested in Holochain. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nick Redmark. I live in Switzerland, Zurich to be more precise, which is where I studied computer science. I'm working as a web engineer. I'm also a professional coach, and I have two YouTube channels, one which is more about personal development, which is the Nick Redmark channel, and I've been posting a lot of content for more than a year now. And I also have a YouTube channel dedicated to technology, which is Nick Techmark. And I started talking about crypto 1 week ago, and as I explained in another video, it's because I think that crypto, Holochain in particular, has a promise, which is the promise to enable a degree of collaboration that we have never seen before. And so I've been looking into Holochain, and now I'm here to report on certain things that I've discovered in the past week. So thing number one, it's an amazing active community. There are different types of people, from the idealists to the people who want to get rich and the people who want to create hype. The hype machine is amazing around this Holochain. Where does the community live? One thing I've seen is that there are YouTube channels, two, by the way. One is the Holochain YouTube channel dedicated more to the protocol, and then there is Holo, which is the company that is kind of organizing this hosting network that kind of complements the Holochain protocol and is meant to bootstrap the network. Then a very active and engaged community is available on Telegram. Check it out. There are a few channels that are very active people talking and discussing things all the time. Then there is the actual official chat, which you can only get access to if you actually ask. Also good to have some kind of more direct response from the inner team, but don't go and spam them. Then there is also a lot going on Twitter, which is where I've kind of been inundated with responses from people. It's very exciting. It's very unusual to me. When I talk about personal development, very few people are interested, so that's very new to me. Anyway, let's talk about subject number two. Since I wanted to learn about this technology, I jumped right into it and decided to do a kind of a proof of concept. And what I did is a Holochain based web server. And you can find this on github.com/Holochain server. And Holochain is a kind of a joke. It's just a name that came to mind. Instead of putting it on my own private GitHub account, I decided to create a namespace for maybe a number of projects to come. If you want to see a live demo of this Holochain based web server, then you can find the website holochain.io, which is a simple pure HTML file which lives inside of a Holochain instance. I'll take a moment to kind of explain what the concept is behind it and how it works. So I need to make a distinction between what the future of Holochain will look like and what we need to kind of play with now that we are used to a more centralized type of internet where you have clients and servers and so on. And the application that I did is kind of a way to bridge between the two, and other people have discovered a similar kind of pattern. Ideally, you would have different clients, each of them having their own Holochain conductor. And from what I understand, this is basically a Holochain service that is in contact with the Holochain network. So what you would have here is Holochain conductors connected to the Holochain network, which is made of many of these conductors. The problem is that if you want to participate in this network, you need to have an application that runs Holochain. And this is not what we are used to, right? And especially since this application is alpha and changes a lot, how can we start using and help people who are not so tech savvy start using apps built on Holochain? One approach is to use normal centralized servers as proxies to apps running in the Holochain network. Let me show you what I mean. So imagine that here is the Holochain network, and here there is one of these Holochain conductors that we talked about. Now, what we have here is some kind of proxy. And this, basically the front of this proxy is a normal website. And here you have a client, which can be a browser, that accesses the proxy. The proxy then goes, communicates with the Holochain app, gets some result and gives it back. And this is basically what I've done. So my server app is one of the simplest possible apps. It stores documents. So imagine that you have a kind of an admin here and he wants to store an index HTML page. He would kind of call a deploy route, and then the proxy would communicate with the conductor and the index would land in the Holochain network. And then when the client comes along and visits / the proxy then pulls index.js and serves it. It has a number of limitations, such as, for example, you wouldn't want to store huge files that way, you would need to split them. Another thing that is still a limitation is that the mapping between the URL and the hash with which the document is stored in the distributed hash table is still stored in the proxy, which is not ideal because if the proxy dies, then all the mapping is lost. But I learned that there is a solution which is called anchors. One of the founders was kind enough to explain me how that works, so that will be probably one of the next things that we'll try out. But let's move on. Another little project I've been participating in is a tool to visualize the activity in the Holochain ecosystem. This is something that is a bit lacking right now. People don't know what is going on, what are the projects that are being worked on. And so it would be good if this was visible. And so I've been collaborating with someone from the Holochain team to develop a little bit of a tool. I can give you a small preview, but consider that this is just like a first prototype. Here you can see, for example, the core repositories that people have been working on, and you see that Holochain Rust is like the repository that people have been working on the most. And then finally, let's talk about the future, about the vision that I have about where this is going. So I've done this proof of concept little app, but I would like to do more. The direction in which I want to go is productivity apps. I want to develop apps that people can use for their own productivity or personal development. For example, I would like to develop some app that allows you to create a project and then add some to-dos to the project. Or another thing that I've found useful is having daily routines, so it would be fun to make an app that helps you track daily routines. The goal behind this is that people start using these distributed apps in the Holochain, and then out of that emerges some kind of synergies between these apps and the people that are using them to start kind of collaborating. Imagine that you have some kind of problem and then someone else can jump in because it's part of this protocol that we are developing. So synergies between people and new unexpected forms of collaboration can emerge, and I'm excited to see what will come out of that. If you are interested in this particular project, then join me on Telegram. You can find me on this link, t.me/Holochain. This is really about using the Holochain technology to build productivity and then collaboration tools, so that a more powerful collective collaboration may emerge. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back soon enough. Bye.